What is going on with my camera? Why are we like this today? Oh, that fixed it, I guess. I don't... Okay, don't know what happened there, but we're just gonna get some stuff done. Okay. Alright. Just gonna clean off my brushes and then we can get started. Okay. Just mixing a little bit of speed paint with some brown. It's like a bit of the darker color for some of the leather I need on the project. We'll see how it goes. Actually, who's got a leather satchel? I know somebody does. There. The brown seems to do fine. finer brush. Hello, Captain. How you doing? I'm experimenting. I thought the brown might be better, just because I figured that doing black might be a little too dark. The problem is, what I'm noticing right now is, with all of the leather work that these guys have, I'm thinking I might just change the brown to something else and I'll just do black fur. Or at least a gray. Just because so far, I like how the Skaven feel. However, it's just not meshing as well as I would hope. Also because I don't have a lot of browns right now, so I don't like what I've got. Just for reference, I've got... Where did I put my browns? I've officially got 3 browns. Blackwash and highlight white. Yeah, it'd work. Because so far I've got Baylor brown, I've got Xandri dust, mostly I use those for basing, and then I've got a mahogany. And the mahogany just isn't doing as well as I hoped, especially because the mahogany I normally use for leather. So I was trying something out just to see how it would work, but I think I'm going to have to go back to black. Which is ironic because for the Space Marines I've been building, it's purple arms with black and then silver trim. So definitely something I need to work on. It may not be that bad, but it's not... It's kind of just what I've been expecting. Black is boring. It can be boring. I was just trying to experiment to see what I could do and get away with. And obviously, as I've learned, I don't have enough browns to really pull off a rat group. So, definitely something I'm going to have to work on. But I've also never painted rats before, so with this being the first time, it's okay to scavenge a little, figure things out, and learn from my mistakes. So I think what I'm gonna do... I've got a speed paint that I think might... I want to try something. I'm already here, I'm already experimenting. I'm going to try doing a speed paint over the brown, just to see if I can get a brown-gray color. Scavengers, are they not? kind of. I'm not the most knowledgeable with fantasy Warhammer. I just like the Skaven because of the memes and haha funny war crime rats. I know that with these guys are the... It's clan, it's not Molder, it's clan something else. But they're part of the clan that actually invents everything. So they're part of the techno, like the technology one. I just don't remember the name of it. Molder, I remember, is the ones that practice all of the evil, oh, we're just gonna practice and experiment on flesh and create new monstrosities. These guys are supposed to be the Acolyte Globadier, so they just throw poison at people. Clinician? Might be, I can't remember. Like I said, I am not the most knowledgeable on Age of Sigmar lore, and for the rats, I know more about 40k because that's kind of what got me into the hobby, and that's what I've been focusing on. But I'm not the best with this stuff. I'm trying to learn more as I go, but honestly, Age of Sigmar just has never been that interesting to me as a setting. It's not bad, because the Skaven are interesting alone by themselves enough to warrant me buying a whole set and building them. Brother's a Skaven player? Ah. Like, the Skaven are interesting enough that I'm willing to buy and, you know, invest in them a little. But I'm not exactly the most excited about the rest of the lore. Warp Canoon? Yeah. Because with the Skaven, I got the Acolyte Globadiers because I like poison, so I thought just having a couple of guys throw poison at people would be fun if I ever committed to doing a tabletop for Warhammer. For Age of Sigmar, at least. And then I got a box of the Warplock Jezzails, which are the giant mounted guns that have somebody holding a shield in front of them. So I've got those sets. So I got this set, I got that set. And I've just been trying to experiment a little bit because I've never been the best with non-armor stuff. Because a lot of the minis I've painted in the past are stuff like, you know, this is work in progress I need to finish as well. But I do better with like scales, armor, and things. Dealing with flesh and fur, not something that's in my current like skill set. So I just wanted to experiment more and see what I could do with them. Yeah, it's a learning experience. But I've been having fun with learning it, so I'm working with it. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the speed paint mixing, like going over the brown, actually worked well enough. So I'm just going to do that for the rest of my rats. Occultist Cloak for the win. I would have never thought. Just need to make sure it's properly thinned out, though. I don't want it too thick. But yeah, no. The whole thing right now is because I've been trying to bully myself into trying to finish building my armies. Because, you know, I've got a couple of Space Marines that I've been trying to kit bash to be underwater because I started with a Dark Kraken army. And so I like them a lot. I want to get that finished up. And to add to the Dark Krakens, I bought a, hold on. I bought a box for the Infiltrators because I had the idea of using some UV cure resin to make them on the coastline as if they're running up or into the water when they're about to go attack on a coastal city or something. That's kind of the idea behind that. But first I need to make my Jump Pack Intercessors look like they're actually under the water in the ocean, because basing can only do so much if I don't actually finish painting them, so that's something I gotta work on. But bit by bit, I've been enjoying making the Dark Krakens, so I've been having fun with them. But I wanted to expand out a little bit. And I also have a squad for Sisters of Battle coming sometime this week. I think tomorrow is when that box arrives, along with new paint, which I definitely need because I need another brown, because I want to get some other brown so I can highlight and do more with leather. Because so far I've just done mixing other colors in with my mahogany to kind of compensate and do brown for everything. But that's not really good enough anymore, so I kind of have to expand and work on that some more. But hey, bit by bit, I'll figure it out. Because the only other brown I've got right now is a snakebite leather, and I want to use that to go over the entire model to dirty it up and make it look like it's, you know, it's not clean. The last thing that the rats are is clean. So I want to give that impression across with my whole army is, yeah, they might be a little pretty, but they're dirty. So, yeah, just got to get things figured out. That, and also I spent a lot more time than I should have with kit bashing, because 2 streams ago I was talking with a couple of guys, and we decided that replacing his regular sword with the... I had some Carcharodon bits from a box I bought to upgrade for Space Marines. Well, figured that Shark Sword would be cool, and then I put green inside the fuller to make it look like there's poison in the blade, because, hey, poison rats, give them a poison sword. That would make sense. And this guy's hand would not stay on, so I just kit bashed on a chain so that he can just launch orbs at his opponents better. Because no matter how many times I glued the hand on, it kept snapping off, and I just did not want to deal with it anymore. So that hand is in a spare bits box. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that hand. I have to figure out something eventually. But for now, that will be future me's problem. As for now, I just want to get these rats painted up just a tad bit more. But yeah, besides me experimenting with the rats, how's everybody's day been so far? You too, Captain Hindsight. Thank you for stopping by. Take care. If I ever see you again, take care until then, man. Da, da, da. Ah, fair, fair. Okay, Samus, stop falling over. I need you to be so for real right now. Okay. Okay. I think that's enough to speed paint for just a minute. I kind of just want to get some color on those bases so I don't have to worry anymore. Okay. Not much. How you doing, bad advice? Right now, just trying to get some color on the bases so I can get a better contrast on what's going to happen when I finish everything else. Because I know what I want to do, but I want to make sure I also have enough contrast and difference in the colors so that everything pops out as intended. Especially for my little rat commander here. Because once these guys are done, I need to finish doing my Space Marines, because I got a new box of Space Marines, and I got a Sisters of Battle box coming that I'm going to have to do as well. The Marine chapter I've been working on is a successor chapter of the Salamanders. I've been doing, hold on, get a better model for it. I've been doing the Dark Krakens, because I really like their symbol. I like the color scheme. I thought it was just really fun. And it was just something different because I hadn't painted black armor before. So I've been trying to learn how to do that. And since they're based on an ocean world, I've been kit bashing a lot of stuff to be on the coast. So I've got a bunch of bits that I got so I could have these guys underwater. So the jetpacks are more of like mobility packs for underwater. And then I have a box of Primaris Infiltrators that I want to build so that their models are about knee deep in some UV cure resin that'll color blue. So it looks like they're on the coastline or going up a river. That's my initial idea for how I want to get that done too. Just because they're from an ocean world. So I want to make it look like they're actually doing like water related shenanigans, or at least on a planet assaulting something that's more up their alley. So I have that for the Space Marines, but Skaven were just kind of fun. I wanted a bit of a breath of fresh air. And I also just didn't want to have to deal with all my backlog of D&D minis, which are a lot. Like, one that I need to redo is this guy, because the speed paint, surprise, surprise, speed paint does not layer on well if you do it with a bad brush. And if my camera will focus, yeah, you can see it better now. So I want to use this guy as a boss encounter for my D&D players because I'm the DM right now, but I need to just recolor everything. I was trying to go with a look of Cocytus from the Overlord anime. If you have seen that, you'll know what he looks like. I wanted to have that feel of like a blue-gray on his armor plating. Did not work out with the speed paint as well as I would hope. Because I did get the gray on and it layered fine. The speed paint above just did not... It just did not work as well as I had hoped. And so that was kind of the main issue right there. But yeah, just been trying to try some new painting, experiment with things, and figure out how I want to do this. Because I also have a box of Warpalaka's ales for the rats. And so I got the poison guys and I got the guns. So just been trying to pressure myself so I finish and follow through with everything I've been trying to build and make. Let's see. But yeah, how have you guys been today? A word? What set did you get? Hey, never a bad time. My first set was... Hold on, let me grab. First set I bought for Space Marines and for Warhammer in general was the Eradicators. And that's what I had to figure out the color scheme as well as the basing idea. I just took a piece of rock from the gravel outside my house and then just kind of did that. That was my first set. Nothing wrong with the intercessors. They're a fairly standard unit, from what I've heard. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. I... most of where I've been learning to paint is just watching painting tutorials as well. I've mostly been following a guy called Eons of Battle on YouTube. I've been watching his videos for about a year now, and that's definitely what got me the most excited about it. Because I'm definitely excited to try to play the game once, but honestly, just building and painting these guys has been really fun in its own way. So I've had a lot of fun with that. But I would be lying if I said I had no intention of ever doing tabletop stuff. I want to try it, but in my local area, there's not a whole lot in my area, so it'll be a while before I really get to play anything. For now, I'm just trying to build up a couple of forces so that whenever the time comes, I can say, hey, I've got an army or 3, and so I can practice playing and just bring them out whenever the time comes. Whenever that time will be, I've got no idea. For now, I just enjoy building and painting models and minis. I started with D&D minis, and of course the natural progression would be getting into Warhammer eventually. Because I've been reading the books and watching lore videos on YouTube, trying to figure things out, and just trying to go from there. Yeah, no. I got, like, one thing is I have a friend who convinced me to start playing Baldur's Gate 3 with him, so I was very excited, had a lot of fun, and we've almost finished the game. However, at my recommendation, because I said, hey, a game that's similar to this that I really liked was Rogue Trader. However, he doesn't know the lore that much, and so he's like, yeah, if I knew the lore better, I'd probably have more fun, but there's too much lore-dependent knowledge in Rogue Trader that if you don't know the lore, it's difficult to feel like you made a good choice, which is fair. However, I was cooked from a while ago because I'm already buying hard copies of some of the books. The first book I bought was the first Wolf and the Horus Heresy series. But okay. Need to get a clean brush, and I need to get some yellow out. Because if there's anything I've learned is that I like ocean stuff a little too much, to the point where on some of my minis and bases I've been referencing Subnautica in how I do some of my coral. Which, for reference, because it'll take me a few minutes to get this done, where did she run off to? I know she's here somewhere. Ha! One thing is I reference the table coral from Subnautica, and so what I do is I do a base of yellow, and then I do my, I've got an orange speed paint above it, so it looks like the table coral from in-game for all my ocean stuff. And so I'm going to do the same with the tube coral here, just because I like the color scheme for it, and I think it makes it pop out more. Because the idea with basing these guys is that they just straight up evaporated a lake and they're attacking their enemy while running through the lake bed. Hence why I can use my underwater bits, which I have a decent amount of, to also just get things moving there. But also having a fun little story about, you know, Skaven being Skaven. So. I also apologize if you can't see and if you guys aren't able to see the back end of the coral painting here too well. It's a very odd angle to go in. Okay. Gonna let that yellow dry before I throw on the speed paint. And I need to do the leather on their masks to make that stand out a bit more. Because now that they no longer have brown fur, the leather should just pop out at an okay level. Yeah, no, that's what I've been doing with all my mini painting. I did just document my progress. So I would absolutely suggest it, my guy. Because at the very least, this is just a fun way so that I can remember how I started and where I'm going and where I've been. But also because if I can document everything, that means I won't have a future issues of, I did this cool thing years ago, but I don't remember exactly how I got this effect. So that way, if in the future I ever want to recreate a painting process or scheme that I did for a group, I can just go back and reference that, so I never truly forget. So, I'd highly suggest it. Just because, hey, what's the worst that can happen? You accidentally end up getting big enough to make money? Oh, that's so bad. I mean, I originally started doing YouTube mostly so I could do videos talking about media I liked and disliked. However, I have not finished a video in a long time, and I really need to. So, once things slow down in life, hopefully I'll be able to actually get something finished, and then I can get that put out. Because I've got like 7 videos I've got partially made. I just need to finish making them so I can actually publish them. I also need to export all of them, but that's, details. Takes a while to get things done. You know, I never understood why people would paint in sub-assemblies until I started painting these rats. Now I kinda get it. I kinda get it. Because painting all of this and making sure not to get paint in areas where it shouldn't be, not the most easy. I think I'm beginning to understand the value of sub-assembly painting schemes. Perhaps I judged it too harshly. Granted, I didn't really have much judgments, I just thought, why would I do that when I can just get it all together and then paint it? But such are mistakes. Yeah, yeah. Because when it comes to Space Marines, I don't really care about the subassembly because so far, nothing here is difficult in the poses that I've chosen. Like, sure, this guy, it's a little close to his chest, but like his chainsword is close to his chest, but it's not really that bad. But with this Skaven, I'm seeing the purpose of a subassembly. It's like, come on. I don't need to worry about sub-assemblies when everything is so well spaced out for the Space Marines. Like, they got space, they got air to breathe, I can do things. These guys are just so scrunched together. Which makes sense, don't get me wrong. But because of that, it is a tad bit difficult. I want to experiment a minute. Because I want to see, do I want to do brown leather for the mantles, or do I want to do something else like the bronze I did for the sword and the other metal parts? Just gonna test it out on that guy. Hey, no worries, man. It's all good. I'm just experimenting a little bit more with how I wanted to do the mantles on the robes here. I think I have a new favorite way I'm going to do it. Because originally, I did a brown just to make a leather, and then I was going to do some studs on it. But I think the bronze really just stands out enough that I kind of want to do the bronze instead. So we're going to do bronze for the mantles. And we'll see how it works when applying bronze on top of a brown. Because I assume I'll need a few coats to make this show well. Nah, but how's dinner, man? Ah, that's always a fun dinner. I haven't had that in a while. I kind of have a craving for sushi now that I think about it. Now I need to find that speed paint and I'll get that coral finished up. The yellow should have dried by now. At least I hope it has, or else this is going to be a very awkward moment. Okay. I'm gonna let that orange dry for a minute. I say that as I immediately touch it. Go me. I'm definitely not smart. Okay. Alright. So far, I think we're doing good so far on the progress. I'm excited for what we've gotten figured out. I'm gonna have to do a few more layers on a few things. But overall, just excited that we're getting some more progress done on all these guys, because gosh dang, I've got so much I need to do and finish. I'm going to call it there, though. I have to go to a family function in a little bit, but I'll try to stream later tonight when I got time. But thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for watching, talking, and just hanging out. Till then, I'll see you whenever I see you guys next. Take care.